Hello. It's Kirsty here again. I felt the need to do a little YouTube update. It's coming up for the 12 weeks of self-isolation that I was originally advised to take from the Scottish Government and the UK Government, really, as part of the shielding measures that were put in place. So essentially, I'm not really meant to leave my house. I'm not meant to meet up with anybody. I'm not meant to be within 2 meters of anybody, so on and so forth. I have to say that I've not stuck to this guidance by the book, by the letter. Um, Basically, because I think I would have gone mad if I had. I live on my own in a small town in Scotland. And basically, I've been going out for walks, not every day, but maybe a few times a week. I have to take my bins out and things like that. So when I take my bins out, I sometimes continue on. I'm about 5 minutes away from a beach, so I'm very lucky in that I'm able to go out and go for a walk, a nice walk. Um, I've also, when the golf course was shut, it's back open now, but when it was shut, I used to go for walks around there. So essentially, like, I was on my own and I didn't come into close contact with anybody really. There was hardly anyone on the beach and on the golf course. So I felt that the risk was it was such that the benefit outweighed the risk of going for these walks. And then more recently, I went and visited my mum and my dad in their garden, and I also had a fish supper down on the beach with one of my friends, who we sat 2 meters apart and just had our dinner outside. And obviously, I washed my hands and things before I left the house to go down. And we used our own cutlery. I feel really bad justifying this. It's almost like I've broken some kind of law, which I've not. But yeah, anyway, so that's been my experience of shielding, I think. And I take my hat off to anybody who has been completely strict and hasn't crossed the threshold of their house since the 12 weeks. But I do think that for me personally, it's a matter of balance. And I've felt safe enough to sort of breach that guidance a little bit. Within reason, obviously. I've not been going out and kissing people and sharing drinks with them and things like that at all. But yeah, I think sometimes maybe like a little bit of common sense goes a long way. However, I am also unfortunately in amidst this whole global pandemic. Kirsty's blood results aren't great. So right now I have well, I guess I'm always neutropenic, really. So I take a drug called azathioprine, which suppresses my immune system. Sorry if this is a bit bright, by the way. I'm in the sun and it's probably blinding the video, but yeah, so I take a drug called azathioprine, which is an immunosuppressant. So it reduces your immune system, suppresses your immune system to stop my immune system from attacking my liver cells. Which does its job really well, almost too well, in that it actually also destroys my bone marrow. So the level of white cell count that I have in my body is just too low at the moment. It's always low, but it's too low right now. And what that means is that if you don't have, it's like your little army of fighters if you get an infection. And right now I'm very, very lacking in any soldiers. My soldiers are AWOL. They're currently having a beer somewhere and not showing up for service. So to stop that metaphor and go from going any further, I have to, please excuse my phone, I have to reduce my azathioprine dose, which I've done before. I've had this problem before. It's not a new problem. My white cell count hasn't quite been this low before. It's really very low at the moment. So really, I shouldn't be going out at all because I'm at much increased risk. But as I say, for I think my mental health, I have to. yeah, so I need to reduce my azathioprine, and when I've done this previously, it's normally resulted in my liver function tests being rubbish. So having a flare, basically a sort of chemically or drug induced flare. So yeah, that will be fun if that happens, because there's not enough rubbishness going on right now. Um, so yeah, I guess it's a really difficult one, and I really feel for my doctors who have to make these decisions, because you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. You don't want to suppress the immune system too much, because then it's very dangerous to not have an immune system, obviously. Um, and yeah, systemic infections, so when I had shingles earlier this year, so things like that can become a lot more serious. And it's hard to quantify as well, because it's not like, it slowly goes down, and then you're at more risk of getting an infection. Infections can happen at any point in time, so it's nothing that you can predict or try and mitigate, really. So yeah, they don't want to suppress that too much, but at the same time, they don't obviously want to stop that medication, because that is what's preventing me from self-destructing my own liver. So it's yeah, it's not a very easy decision to make, and I hope that if I do have a flare, that it is manageable with um some more steroids, yay, yay, or increasing my another drug that I take, which is tacrolimus, which is another immunosuppressant. So there's options there to tinker around with it, but I just get the feeling that my body is just slowly falling apart a little bit, and I don't know how much more my liver can put up with. Every time I've been having a flare the past few times, it's beginning to show signs. My liver is beginning to show signs that it's not coping as well. So yeah, I don't want to tempt fate, but I'm not overly optimistic for what is in store in the next wee while. So yeah, we'll see. I will no doubt update you with any news, but we'll just take it a day at a time, and try and stay positive until I get my blood results. Yeah. Okay, so I hope everybody's keeping well, and I hope that you are not going mad in self isolation or shielding or whatever you're doing. I guess just keep safe and try and keep positive. As hard as it is, not got much option other than to keep on keeping on. As you can see, it's nice and sunny in Nairn today, so it's not all bad. It's not all bad. And I'm away to have a fish supper now as well, so it's definitely not all bad. And that's probably not very good for my liver, but hey ho. Yeah, so I just wanted to give a quick update. So that's where I'm at right now. Yeah, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.